We are live. Good morning, everybody.
Good
Good morning.
morning. Good morning, Kathy. How are you? Oh, you're on mute.
There we go. Sorry, a little bit of technical difficulty to start. Good morning. How are you, Ven?
I'm good, thank you. How are you? How have you been?
I can't seem to hear you.
Oh, hello? Am I here? Oh no. Hello?
A little bit of a
There? Am I here?
check your sounds.
Am I here?
Sorry, this usually happens.
No? None?
No, disconnected.
We were fine a while ago. Hold on.
No, there you are. I can hear you now.
We're good?
Yes, we are. Let's do
Okay,
this.
okay.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our very first wellness weekends. My name is Kathy Reneses. I am the resident life coach, and with me is Dr. Ven Valdez. She is a general practitioner who also is a functional medicine practitioner. And today we are going to be talking a lot about what's happening. We're going to be talking about basically functional medicine and like how it differentiates from the conventional medicine that we're so used to, and why we would probably need it in our lives. So Doc Ven, do you mind telling us just a little bit of how you got started in functional medicine? Like what kind of made you want to focus on that?
Okay. Yeah, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Kathy. I hope everyone's doing well this morning. So my journey to functional medicine was very interesting. I went through med school, conventional internship, and everything like that. And then I tried to do, go a certain path, the automatic path after medical school. But that life, life made me pivot. Life made me understand how there are so many things that are at play in our health, which we were taught, but not really. This like functional medicine made me realize that there are other factors that are at play. Actually, in my health, because I also had that period of poor health, and then I tried to figure out what was happening. I didn't want to take any medications, but again, medications are for some people. So kind of dug deep into my health. And then I saw Carolyn, actually, one of our doctors in Centro, Dr. Carolyn Tanchi Pedro,
Mhm.
who was doing functional medicine, and I was interested in it. I asked her about it. And then, one thing led to another. I talked to Dr. Candy. I talked to Raymond, one of my friends, who's also into functional medicine. And then it was, yeah, after that, it was uphill from there. Uphill.
And now that's what you do. Well, like for me, coming from somebody who isn't in the medical field, whenever I think of getting a checkup, medyo kinakabahan ako kasi parang
Right.
alam takot ako na baka may mararamdaman ako, or baka the doctor might find something, and that causes me to panic.
Right.
And I think that's probably my main reason kung bakit ayoko magpatingin.
Right. Right.
Usually, like, I'll probably go to the doctor pag may nararamdaman na ako. And I think
Right.
that is what most people, like, in general do anyways. But it's kind of different with functional medicine, right? Could you kind
Mhm.
of explain what functional medicine is, and why, um, and why people should consider getting into it as well?
Right. Yeah. No, first, I want to circle back to what you said. It's very common for patients to feel that way. I'm a doctor, but when I do, have to consult some of my doctor friends, I still get nervous. Or even before when I was in med school, I still get nervous. Like, I don't want you to think, or I don't want you to say what I don't want to hear. But the beauty of functional medicine is we look at your health in terms of your system, your whole system, and what's like underneath the hood of your car, basically. So think that your whole system or whole body is a car, and we're looking under the hood, and we're looking at the cog wheels or the machinery under that hood, right? So it's systems biology based. That's what my teachers like to call it, or like to how they would like to describe it, because we're really thinking how these systems are functioning and how can they be optimized, because there's so many things, so many factors. Like we'll go into the like lifestyle factors later on, but basically that's what we're trying to do. We're
Mhm.
trying also to find the root cause of whatever it is your symptoms are, or whatever it is your body is manifesting, because
Mhm.
there is always an imbalance or maybe an excess that's happening underneath your car, the hood of your car, um, that predisposes you, or like lets your body manifest in a certain way.
Mhm. Interesting. So, like for example, no, like if I were like to say, if I were to go to a doctor, my conventional doctor, and I would go and say, Doc, medyo like napapadalas yung migraines ko, masakit yung ulo ko. I'm guessing they would probably prescribe me like paracetamol or something like that in
Mhm.
order like for the migraine to go away. How different would it be if I went to you as a functional medicine doctor?
Right. So for some or for most cases, actually for acute cases, sometimes they need medications, right? Because the symptoms are really painful, or your symptoms have been going on for like a few days, and sometimes you do need medication. But for some people who've had chronic illnesses or have been experiencing so much symptoms for a long time, it might be helpful, or it might be useful to look at what clinical imbalance, or what chemical imbalances, or what bio- biochemical imbalances there might be, that are, again, like what I said, I'm going to circle back like often to what I was saying a while ago, how there might be some impairments or dysfunction in your system that we need to address, and then we have to ask, okay, what are the factors that can affect this kind of system or this kind of physiology, and how is it, how can we optimize those systems? What can we put in your body? What can we take out, and what can we add in to
Mm,
engage those systems? Yeah, to engage those systems, maybe stop inflammation, engage anti-inflammatory processes, and yeah, etc.
yeah, what's interesting that I love is like, and what I noticed, when I went in for a functional medicine consult with you guys, is you guys ask a lot of questions.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
lot of questions, and it's not like, I was surprised that it wasn't just about like my health. Like I was expecting that, like, so what are you feeling, etc. It was a lot of like questions that I didn't think had anything to do with what it was that I was feeling. A lot of questions about like my how much sleep I was getting, if I was stressed out, like
yeah,
what I was eating.
yeah.
So I think that for me is like that was what I kind of found to be just a huge difference from when I would kind of go in for like a consult with my general practitioner.
Hmm.
They usually just kind of tick things off, and are you feeling, are you okay, let me like listen to your heartbeat, and that's kind of it. So how does functional medicine differ from conventional medicine?
Mm. Yeah, that's a good question. So we take, in conventional medicine, and this is how I was trained. Everything happens quickly. We have to see a lot of patients. We have to go through a lot of patients. So sometimes, or most of the time, we don't have that luxury to really get to know our patients. Sometimes, or for some doctors, the way that at least for me personally, the way that I do my practice now is I really get into the nitty gritty of my patient's health. So what we're trying to do is to look for the story. That's what we're trying to do, because how you got to where you are now, there's a story behind that. And if you look at your timeline from your birth up until your age now, for example, like you, Kathy, I'm pretty sure that that's what happened. Like I'm sure you were asked like how you were born, what were your, how was your mom doing when you were, when she was pregnant with you, etc. And we look for any breakages within your timeline that might have led you to your current health status. Because again, any kind of feeling that you might have, any kind of symptom or any disease that you might have, didn't happen overnight. It's a series of breakages within your timeline. And that's what we're looking for basically. We're looking for patterns, we're looking for the breakages, we're looking for essentially the root cause. So, in doing that, it also helps me identify how I can help my patients move forward. If I see that the root cause is maybe you sleeping at 2 a.m., then I would tailor or like I would explain to my patient how that is affecting your immune system, how that might be affecting your detoxification, how that might be affecting how you assimilate information in your body. Like anything that you put in your body is information, right? So if we see that, then maybe we can help our patients make better choices, or just like opening up their minds that anything that they do on a daily basis has an effect on their health, basically. So yeah, I could go on and on and on, but
Kaloka. So it actually it sounds like you dig into our medical history, which is normal, no? And
yeah,
then there's kind of like a long therapy session, it sounds, of like take me back to like when you were in utero up until today. And
right.
then let's figure out like what kind of happened to you in between, and like when these symptoms started showing up. That's so
hmm
interesting.
Yeah, so I like telling my patients that, our bodies are very resilient. This is why you're still here now. You're still able to, walk and talk and breathe, etc. But at the
Mhm.
same time, our bodies are also sensitive that anything that we do on a daily basis, for example, like eating, we do that on a daily basis. Often do that, several times a day also. But what is important is your conscious or you're aware of what kind of information that you are putting in your body. So, for example, I'll just go off on a tangent here. Um, so like when I ask my patients about what they're eating, sometimes they're kind of shy or they're kind of hesitant to say or resistant. And I always say there is no judgment here. I'm just here to maybe assess or like let's look into what might be causing these imbalances, because it might be sometimes it might be the food and it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So I try to shift their mindset into thinking that maybe like food is like information, right? So food can either be um, a nutrient or an anti-nutrient. That's what my teachers like to call it. So yeah, nothing is good or bad. It's just information basically. So when I open that up to them, they most of the time they become more honest, or they, around they're more okay with revealing what how they've been eating so far. And it's from that point that okay, maybe we can take out one thing, maybe we can add another color to your plate. So yeah, so it's just that it just gives me, I like this practice because it allows me to engage my creativity, like what else, how
Yeah.
else can I help my patients move forward. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds a lot more holistic. So guys, if you have any questions for Doc Ven, please leave them in the comment section, and we'll get to them before we finish with wellness weekends. So it's for me it's kind of interesting, Doc, like just hearing you talk about the functional medicine, etc. It sounds like it has a lot more to do with like lifestyle changes more than like medication, more than taking. I haven't heard you say anything about like taking a pill, etc. It's more of you, like for your example, like really changing the diet. And
Mhm.
it sounds a lot, well, parang it's harder to do. Taking a pill of course is faster.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure the benefits long term is better. I remember like the reason why I loved Centro personally is because I'm very conscious about the what I put in my body in terms of how it affects my liver. And
Mm.
taught me like, yeah, like all the pills and stuff that I take, if it's chemical, it makes my kidneys and liver work overtime, and that's not necessarily a good thing. Tama ba?
Mhm. Yeah, so to answer, yeah, so yes, that's true. So to answer your question, so yes, we look at your lifestyle, but again, we were conventionally trained. We never forget about our conventional training. Like most of us, yeah, all of us still prescribe medications if our patients warrant it, or if our patients, you know, symptoms warrant it. Again, it's just getting them over that hump, basically. So sometimes we do have to give them medications, but at the same time, because we're trying to um, like engage them, or parang ano, engage their health in a way that it's more sustainable, right?
Yeah.
So you can take medications, etc., and that can stop your symptoms in a way, or that can manage your symptoms. But if you take it for a long time, it can also present with other, illnesses later on, or other symptoms later on. So what we're trying to do, if our patients are on any kind of medication right now, when they come in, they're in any kind of medication for whatever reason, what we're trying to I what I try to do is look at the other factors that might be predisposing them to their disease that they have right now. So in a way, okay, the medication is there to control whatever is, parang we have a difficulty controlling, and then we go under, again, going under the hood, going, looking at your roots, basically, how you're, like, I ask about how you're sleeping, how you're eating, how you're moving, how you're handling stress, how
Mhm.
your relationships are going, because those are important to us. And we also look at your, what we call your antecedents, triggers, and mediators. That's what I was talking about kanina, in terms of your timeline. So if we see that you are, you have this predisposition of kunwari, cardiometabolic diseases, or like hypertension, diabetes, I tell my patients, oh, look, oh, you have a predisposition to an inflammatory process or inflammatory disease. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to automatically present with that now that you're older.
Mhm.
There are, again, there are so many factors before you can get to hypertension, or before you can get to diabetes. So let's just look at that, because maybe you have a genetic predisposition and we just need to optimize that system, or maybe take out some things from that system so you won't present with a cardiometabolic disease. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
That's interesting because yeah, like a lot of us, parang that's our excuse eh. Prone yung family ko kasi prone sa diabetes eh, or yung
yeah,
family ko kasi hypertensive kaya ganun din ako. But
yeah,
that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. It really is
right,
parang our training, and I think
yeah,
yeah, like coming in for a consult, that kind of gives you that option.
yeah.
Question lang, Doc. Do I have to be feeling something in order to come in for a functional medicine consultation? Or pwede ba lang ako pumunta just to see how to optimize my health? Is that possible?
Yeah, so both, we welcome both, because for some people, yeah, so we get patients who have a slew of symptoms or a slew of diseases, and sometimes sometimes I get patients that I'm the last line of doctor, and I'm like, yeah. So, again, we look at your diseases, we look at, what's the inflammation going on. We see, or like, we try to look at, again, what your deficient inefficiencies might be, and we
Mhm.
try to provide you with the necessary things for your body to shift you out of inflammation. And we also get patients who want to, again, like what you said, to optimize their health. Like we get athletes, or we get people with, not really feeling anything, but they want to be at their best. And we also help them through that, because sometimes they're feeling okay. But when we ask about, oh, how do you feel on a daily basis? My sleep could be better. I don't feel I'm okay, but I don't feel well rested in the morning. And we explore that. I'm like, okay, so like how often, or like how long have you been feeling this way? And then we see, okay, so this person, stays up late until 2 a.m. So his cortisol pattern is, shifted um, differently now. So that's what we try to look at. Yeah. So again, we are going into really your cellular makeup, biochemistry, and all those nerdy stuff. That's my job. That's our job. And then we try to tell it back to our patients, correlate it to their story, so they have a deeper understanding of, how to better their health or how they got to where they are now.
Mhm. What what are the most kind of like the common things that people like go to you for? Like what are the most like for Filipinos? Ano yung pinaka-common natin na mga problema when we come in for a functional medicine consult?
So in the clinic, we get a lot of gut issues. We
Mm.
get a lot of people who have been having acidity or reflux for a long time and not being, it's still, it goes on and off and it doesn't go away even with medication. What else do we have autoimmune patients. Me personally, I've been getting, which it's such a surprise to me. Like I've been getting women's reproductive issues. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of, yeah, women with reproductive issues with
Like
fertility
PCOS and stuff.
challenges, because endometriosis, women who have fertility challenges.
Mm.
Yeah, so, and again, when we look at, because it, what the pattern that I've noticed, it's they're getting younger.
Mm.
The women who have fertility challenges have, are getting younger, and then, we have to look into, okay, what's been going on in your timeline, or like, um, how did you grow up, and why are you having challenges right now, or like what are still the factors or the mediators, what that we like to call, what are the factors that are currently at play, still at play in your life right now, that might be predisposing you to imbalanced hormones, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's not
Right.
just genetics talaga, no. It really is genetics or like medical plus lifestyle that you guys like look at.
Yeah. So genes are one thing, but it's how, like what my teachers like to say, it's how you bathe your genes, basically, right? Because, these are the things. It's what, again, like I'm going to circle back to what I said a while ago. It's really, I know, anything that you do in your life has an effect in your health. May it be something small or something big. It's
Mm.
going to engage some processes in your body to help you cope with your day-to-day activities, basically. So yeah, I hope I answered your question. I went off on a tangent, basically, like for a minute there.
I'm learning a whole lot. So like, yeah,
Okay.
please keep talking.
What I wanted to say also, and this is something that our teachers from IFM, or Institute of Functional Medicine in the US, ingrained in us, is that it's really patient empowered. So
Mm.
it's participatory. So we build that connection, and we ask, okay, what motivates our patients to make the changes? What is blocking them from making any changes? So if we are, this is why we ask a lot of questions, because if we get those answers, then we can help, shift our patients into making, again, better choices. So it's really, we're moving out of the doctor dictator parang mindset.
Mm.
So I ask them all the time, okay, what are your health goals? Okay, so they say their health goals. Okay, what are you open to doing? And most
Mm.
of them kind of pause, because it's like, huh, what am I open to doing?
Or
Right?
like, that's a weird question coming from you, the doctor.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's, again, I could easily tell you what food to eat. I could easily tell you how to move. I could easily tell you, it's really the stress. It's really your work that's, causing all of this inflammation. But what we're trying to do is to engage insight into our patients. Because if it comes from them, and I'm sure that maybe that's what you experience. 'Cause that's how I experience it for my health. If it really comes from them, then change is going to happen. Yeah. And what we're trying to do also, I was reminded of this the other day, from one of my teachers also. Change is one thing, transformation is another. So you can change overnight, but that transformation is a journey. So that's what we also try to remind our patients. Your health is a journey; it's never ending. So just be patient with yourself. Yeah, like we can help you, we can handhold you into making these choices, and we can do it baby steps. Again, we this is very very important. We meet our patients where they're at, because some of
Yeah.
them are not ready to make nutritional choices. Some of them still like their diet coke. Some of them still like their chips,
Yeah.
and that's fine. That's their journey. But like for me,
Mhm.
like I asked them, okay, maybe you can add. Would you be open? That's like my favorite question. Would you be open to adding maybe one or two colors to your plate? And they'd be like, okay, I can try that. Yeah. And then when they
Like,
keep coming back,
yeah.
yeah, and then we build it from there.
What I'm hearing, so what I'm kind of hearing from this is it really is kind of like more of like helping people make that lifestyle change, make those better choices in terms
Mm-hmm.
of their health. And
Mm-hmm.
it also sounds like with functional medicine, it's more of like you guys as doctors coming with us on the journey,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This is what I'm feeling now. So how can I feel better? I'm not necessarily sick, but I want to feel better or be stronger or
Mm-hmm.
like run a marathon at the end
Yeah.
of the year. So like, how can you help me achieve that?
Mm-hmm.
I think what's interesting as well, I was wondering if you can talk a little bit about it, is like it usually with conventional medicine, at least from my experience, it's just, like I'd meet with my GP, I talk to him about what I'm feeling, he'd prescribe me something, and that's kind of it. But what I noticed with you guys is there are a lot more like other holistic services that I can kind of experience first and see if that works for me before I take in any medication. Like, I remember my first experience of like a colon cleanse. Um,
How's
it,
that?
it
Yeah.
was it was an experience.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I didn't think I'd be wanting to experience it again, but like the after effects was like I felt at least 10 pounds lighter. And like it really helped, like with whatever was going on down there for me.
Mhm.
Instead of maybe like taking a laxative.
Right.
um so could you talk about that a little bit more, because that
Okay.
for me is super interesting.
Yeah. So whenever my patient, like just to circle back on the colon cleanse, so whenever my patients ask about it, or whenever they come in, this is their initial consult with us. I just say, because they always ask, is it painful, or is it how much discomfort is there? And I just say it's an experience. So that's why I laughed when you say that it is an experience basically. But yeah, to answer your question, so the beauty of this practice, or like um, this clinic also, is that we have other ways to help our patients make those changes. Because for
Mhm.
some, I'll give you an example. I have a patient who is fatigued. I know what foods to give them. I know what foods to take out. I know how to manage their stress. But then that's me. That's not
Yeah.
coming from them. That's not insight from them. So I say, okay, maybe we can try acupuncture today. Let's try to engage your systems. Let's try to help you relax more, give you more energy, improve your circulation, right?
Mhm.
And then maybe let's talk again. Let's see how you're feeling afterwards, like, or next week. And then maybe we can try to start with again baby steps with your with a few changes. So that's one. I love acupuncture. I It's my favorite tool that I use with my patients, especially when they're stressed.
Mhm.
Because I have my favorite points for sleeping. So even if they tell me that they're not, um, or their sleep is okay, they come out of the acupuncture session saying that's the best sleep that I've had in like a while. So that's my favorite. We also help our fertility patients. For women who have reproductive issues, with acupuncture, it's been found like there's so many studies that have helped women, especially for those going through IVF. um,
Mm-hmm.
that have success with their IVF, with um, the help of acupuncture. What else? So the colon cleanse is also a gentle way for you to just detox. Again, it's not the end all be all. It's not the answer, but for
Mm-hmm.
some who have been extremely constipated, it can be very, very helpful for them.
Yeah.
Just to like, sorry for the word, but offload some of
Yeah.
their stuff. Yeah,
Basically. Yeah. And
yeah.
for those who are curious, like wondering what it feels like menstrual cramps. So if you're a girl, you probably know what it feels like. If you're a guy, you will know what it feels like for us women during that time of the month once you kind of try it for yourself.
But it's essentially parang it's like just needing to go several times for like 30 minutes or
Exactly.
25 minutes, right? Yeah. But you feel better afterwards, you feel lighter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just wanna like correlate that with like how that helps me in my practice. Because for some people, and there have been studies like out there that have found that people who are constipated are really stressed, right?
Mm,
So, and just imagine that they're holding all of that waste product in their body, so they are extra stressed,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So they like all of those toxins or all of those waste materials are just circulating, are just staying in there, which again can cause inflammation. So
Because
what?
it's being
Mhm,
absorbed by your body, right? If it
mhm,
just stays there, then it just our body, our organs are porous. It
yeah.
just kinda gets into our bloodstream.
Basically, yeah. So, yeah, in terms of because anything in our body, our bodies are very smart. They turn things into waste materials when they're done doing their job.
Mm,
But again, it's going back to okay, how is your detoxification system working? Because
yeah.
if that isn't working, then you're not going to be able to eliminate those toxins or eliminate those waste products. And what happens is, and again, we are evidence based here. There are so many studies regarding like about this topic. It recirculates in your system and goes to those areas where they have receptors.
Mm,
Yeah. So essentially for hormones, once they're done doing their job, they turn into waste materials, and if they stay in your body, they go into those areas where they have receptors and can cause inflammation.
got it.
So there. So yeah, what it's just really like okay, offloading, and then once we offload, okay, maybe we can make a few changes. Maybe you can drink a little bit more water. Maybe you can,
Mm,
eat a little bit more vegetables or fiber. So yeah.
yeah. Like Doc Candy says, colon cleanses help with the sacral and root chakra. Like she's
Mm.
anal too. Yeah,
I,
like my experience though of the colon cleanse, no, like I didn't expect the change to be as big as it was. Like I
mhm.
was just like being the drama queen, going, oh my gosh, like what is happening to me? Where's this pain coming from? What's coming out? But like a couple of days later, like I noticed, like like I was able to focus a lot better. Like aside from feeling a lot lighter,
Mhm.
um, like there were just a lot of health benefits, and I think like for me, like that was kind of my foray into functional medicine of like, what, I can see and appreciate the difference in my body here, and
Mhm.
since I put in all this trouble to get the colon cleanse, then yeah, might as well eat better and make
Yeah,
sure like I don't go through the same cycle again, needing to go through that colon cleanse again. Um,
exactly. Yeah.
and
So I mean,
and
that's good insight. That's good insight from you, right?
hmm,
Yeah. Okay.
I,
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
think what's pretty amazing as well, at least for me, yeah, like with functional medicine, is I'm learning so much about my body that I didn't necessarily thought I would when I came in for a consult. So
Yeah.
could you explain, because we have two different types of functional medicine consults, right? At
Mhm.
the So one
Yeah.
is the functional medicine and one is the consult with a live blood analysis.
Mhm.
Could you maybe explain those two and like who would benefit from each one?
Good question. So I hope I'll be able to explain this really well. If not, if Dr. Candy is there, maybe she can type it up. Um, so we have two kinds of consults. One is called the holistic medical consult, and then the other one is a functional medicine consult. So the other one is a bit more general. We look at your lifestyle factors, like okay, and then see from there, like how you're sleeping, how you're eating, etc., etc. And then we look from there. We see from there, like okay, maybe we can look at your nutrition, or like maybe that's like a change that we can it's an area where we can change. So yeah, and then a functional medicine concept is a little bit it's a deeper dive into your health basically. So if you've been experiencing a lot of symptoms, or you've been diagnosed with a lot of diseases and you're so confused, you're at your wits end, you're so fatigued, nothing's working, that may be, that may be the best consult, or like that might be the most appropriate one. Although with both consults, we can help our patients move forward. It's just that the functional medicine consult is a little bit deeper. We go into your antecedents, your triggers, your mediators. We go into, like your whole timeline, basically from your birth until your age now. See like where, like what significant life changes might have put your health over the edge, et cetera, et cetera. We look at your toxin exposure. We look at what else? We look at your systems. Yeah, your all of your systems more in depth, because we're really trying to find the root cause, find what it is that is driving this inflammatory process in your body, basically. So yeah, I hope I was able to answer that. With both naman, both we can look at. So the other one has live blood analysis, but sometimes I that's a way for me to ground my patients as to what is happening in their body. So the live blood analysis is we take a drop of blood um, from your finger, just a prick. We look at it under the microscope. We look at your red blood cells and what might be, what else is in there. Because if we see that your example lang to so if we see that your red blood cells are stuck together, that means maybe it's a function of your hydration or lack of hydration, basically, or your blood is acidic, so this is why you have this inflammatory process, etc., etc., or lack of, or maybe there's like a like a what do you call this, a deficiency of your B vitamins. So yeah, so in a way, parang it shows them, oh, okay, so these are the things, or this is what's happening in my body right now. This is how my insides look right now. So in a way, parang, okay, I'm open to making these changes then, because they have a visual.
Yeah.
I think you're able to get more insight from them, or you're able to engage them more
Mm.
after they see that. I don't know if that was the same for you or if you've done it, but definitely for me, it allowed me to. I thought it was healthy, but after Dr. Ryan did my live blood analysis, I was like, okay, nope, I'm not.
Oh yeah, I had mine with Doc Candy, and I
Uh-huh.
was and I was kind of shocked because I was expecting my cells to like be like pink or red. It was more yellow, and I was like, yeah, I'm anemic. And she was like,
Ah,
"You're taking way too much sugar," and I'm like, yeah, I'm guilty of that too.
ah. Yep, yep. That's what Dr. Ryan like showed me. He was like, "Oh, you're eating a lot of sugar," and I'm like, "What? I already cut down on my sugar. Apparently, it's not enough." So
I
yeah,
can't hide. The blood does not lie.
yeah,
Each Samantha says, this is so interesting so far, and I want to try the colon cleanse or acupuncture to sleep better. Yes, please
yeah. Come over.
come over, set an appointment for a consult with Ven or other fantastic doctors. Doc Candy says you got it. Holistic medical consultation is more of our basic or general consult. Though it doesn't seem so basic when you go through it, that is so true. It's more of a getting to know you consult, and functional medicine consultation is really more in depth. Kalkalan history. We recommend this for those who have more complicated issues that need more analysis.
Yeah.
And I think this one lasts a lot longer as well. No, I remember like my consult was like 30 minutes long, but I
Mhm.
think like, this is like 2 to 4 hours. depending on, I
Need
guess,
a-
the how far do you
we
go?
try not to I know be let it be that long, but sometimes I take 45 minutes to an hour, me personally, and
Mhm.
because again, we're looking at your life basically, right? So it
Mhm.
takes a lot of time for us to for again kalkalan ng history basically. Um, we just we show our patients, okay, this is the pattern that you've been exhibiting for x amount of years, and we try to bring that down into the science, into the biochemistry, where it
Mhm.
makes more sense to them. And again, we meet our patients where we're at, because sometimes they come in, they're fatigued, they just want an answer to their fatigue. They don't have time. They don't have energy for a 2 hour consult. So
Mhm.
sometimes we take it by chunks. So maybe I can just meet them for like 30 to 45 minutes, just tell them, okay, maybe we can look at your sleep first, or maybe we can look at your movement first. Maybe we can, let's choose one and then
Yeah.
come back. Let me know how you feel,
Yeah.
and then after that, let's see what else we can do. So
Uh-huh.
it's really that collaborative parang, engagement with the patient. Because
That's
again, you don't want to
great.
force anyone. Yeah, you don't want to force anyone.
I, yeah, Doc Sasa says like functional medicine consult requires more time,
Yeah,
usually depending on how complicated the case is.
yeah.
Doc Candy says kung ayaw nyo kami kausapin more than 1 hour, okay, magpa-functional consult.
No, wag naman. No, but
But you know what I love about this though is that it is collaborative. So,
Mhm.
I think like from what I've experienced as well is sometimes, I talk to some of my doctor friends and they feel like it's an uphill battle trying to help their patients get to a better, get healthier or
Mm,
get to a better place in that wellness continuum.
mm-mm.
Um, but what I love about the functional medicine is that you guys really hold us accountable to our health. No, it's really, look, this is the picture of what's happened to you, and this is where we can go from here. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like we can continue on and kind of like deteriorate, or we can like get you to a better place holistically. And
Hmm.
it's kind of like the path to do it.
Right.
Um, and I think like that's what I like about that, because you don't necessarily have to be feeling anything, right? You
Hmm.
don't necessarily have to be going through anything in your body in order
Yeah.
to come to you guys. It
Yeah.
really just is like, how can I feel better, or how can I feel better about myself? I think like one of the huge revelations for me as well, when I started working with Centro, was the IV nutrition drips.
Hmm.
Like there are a lot of those, like circulating in the market, like glutathione for beauty, for whatever.
Yeah.
And I kind of came into it thinking, it's probably just more of the same stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
vitamin C drip, I can get that at like, like some other place.
Yeah.
But what I love is that you guys really customize the cocktails.
Mm-hmm.
And you can really feel the effects, like for somebody like me who's super tamad to take supplements, like I just go in once a month and I
Mm-hmm.
get the drip and I'm good, like
Mm.
focus there, I feel good, I've got that mega dose vitamin C, I feel a lot stronger, I don't get sick as much, and it's just that one visit to the clinic once a month, and it doesn't feel like a clinic, it feels like a spa.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's what we aim to do. Yeah, so people like we built our clinics in a way that would help our patients relax more. Because
Mm,
sometimes, again, like what you said earlier, you do get nervous, like meeting your doctor, right?
mm.
Some people have white coat hypertension that just when they see their doctors in their white lab coats, their blood pressure shoots up. It's a real thing.
That's me.
So yeah, so we try to I know we have plans, we have I know soothing music just to help again. It's these things are also some of the ways which we can, and create change in our patient's health, right? So if they feel more relaxed inside the clinic, if they're just there for like 10 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever, then we've done our job without even maybe touching them. Uh, so
Exactly. And it feels like just such a nice experience. I
yeah,
don't feel like I go into a clinic whenever I visit Central.
good.
Wowie says, how can we set an appointment for a consult? We have three branches in Alabang, the Grove in Pasig, and in Quezon City. We're closed on Sundays, but please do reach out to one of, you can look at Facebook, our numbers are there, and book an appointment through texting or Viber, any of those numbers. And yeah, we'll be, Doc Ven and the rest of the team will be more than happy to sit down with you.
Yeah.
Um,
Kathy, I
yeah,
just wanted to, I wasn't able to answer your question about the IV drips. Yeah. So I just want to circle back to what you said that it's personalized. Yes. So this is what we aim to do also in functional medicine. It's, personalized therapeutic interventions. This is how my teachers taught us. It's really, again, there's no, we're moving away from that idea of one pill for an ill,
mhm.
really. So we're trying to, because your example lang, so if we're both experiencing fatigue, the story of your fatigue is different from the story of my fatigue. So that's what we're trying to do. Maybe for you, it's really taking out something, and maybe for me, it's adding something. So that's how we, tailor fit or we personalize our therapeutic interventions moving forward, like with our patients lang. And for the IV, yeah, go ahead.
No, no, I was just gonna say, so like parang like kulang sa love life, nasobrahan sa love life.
I mean, I mean, pwede. We we look at that also. This is why I like functional medicine because we look at everything. We look at even what we call your center of the matrix. And if if anyone decides to do a functional medicine consult with us, they'll find out. But essentially, that's really looking at your mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects of your life because those are important. Those are the anchors for which change happens. So yeah, if you're interested, if you're curious, just hop on over. Like, we're always open. Our clinics are very clean. Our clinics are very relaxing. Yeah,
There are protocols in place since we
yeah,
are still technically on on lockdown.
yeah.
So yeah, we're almost at the top of the hour, Doc Ben. If you were
Okay.
to leave our viewers with just one piece of advice around functional medicine, what would that be?
So there's so many things. How much time do I have?
One
Um,
lang.
one lang,
You
one
need to
lang.
come to a consult.
So I was listening to a lecture earlier this week from two of my teachers, Dr. Jeffrey Bland and Dr. Christy Hughes, and I wrote down what they said, and I think it really beautifully encapsulates what we try to do. So our responsibility as doctors is to look at the science, understand the uniqueness of each person, honor honor and hear where they're coming from, and then try to help them, try to help guide them to create a plan that's going to work for them, basically. So, it's evidence-based practice. We engage or we adopt or we look at, behaviors, we adopt and sustain behaviors that can improve your health, basically. So I think that really, encapsulates it. And again, ako naman, so those are for my teachers. Me personally, I just wanted to say that um, there's so many avenues for healing. So it's just really that openness that we try to show our patient or like try to engage in our patients that um, there's so many ways, there's so many, and it's a journey. It's not a destination. Your health is a journey. Everything that you do affects your health, affects your life. So, yeah, we just try to. Again, maybe this is important too. We as doctors, we're not perfect. I'm still on my health journey. I fall off the wagon every now and then, but the important thing is to be kind to yourself. To just, every day is a fresh way to. I know it's a fresh start, basically. So I know that was like a lot of, I know, a bunch of words, but hopefully some like some of them were able to, I know, pick up some like tidbits of, I know,
No, for
information in there.
what I loved about what you said, and I think like my parting message as well is, I think what I love about this journey that we're taking, and working with functional medicine, is it really is a lot of love and compassion for yourself. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Recognizing that, oh, I need to take better care of myself, and that there are other ways to in order to take care of my health that doesn't necessarily, like, at least for me, that doesn't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily mean like I have to go on some sort of medication, because like I said,
Right.
I'm very conscious with,
Yeah.
liver and kidneys, and those things need to last
Yeah.
for as
Yeah.
long as
Yeah.
I possibly can. So I'm trying not to overwork it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and that going to the doctor isn't necessarily a scary experience.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what I experienced with Centro. I do have that fear of, like, whenever the doctor walks in, right, and he's looking at my chart, tapos nakakunot, I'm like, what's wrong now? You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
that's not the experience that I get at Centro, which is what I love. But then I also, of course, appreciate conventional medicine, because, if anything happens to me, or, like, if I feel anything, I will definitely probably need the help of a specialist, etc. And that's where conventional medicine comes in.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in my own like wellness journey, like, wala naman ako masyadong nararamdaman, I'm kind of
Mm-hmm.
okay, want to
Yeah.
feel better for myself, then Centro Holistico is definitely like my partner in
Yeah.
terms of, getting to that place.
Yeah.
But
Can I just say one thing though? Hindi kami scary. Charot. No, I'll tour you guys around the clinic later, but I just wanted to say also, I think that's very important that, we it's a collaborative healthcare team, collaborative care team. We work with, it's not one or the other. We work with your primary care practitioners. For me, I work with the OBs of my fertility patients
mhm.
because I'm not an OB, but there are lifestyle factors or other things that, yeah,
Yeah,
East meets West. We there's so many options. Basically, is what we're trying to drive at. And there's so many parang information out there, and our job is to really integrate everything and find what best suits you in terms
yeah.
of moving forward in your health. Yeah.
So really, whatever works for you. So, again, before we end this event, could you please take us on a short tour of the new
Okay.
Quezon City clinic? I haven't been there, so I'm super curious to see.
Okay. So this is our Quezon City clinic. Oop. Um, I didn't turn on the lights, but yeah, this is our wall.
The mural looks so nice.
Yeah. So I remember. Yeah, the body heals with play. The mind heals with laughter, and the spirit heals with joy. So yeah, plantita din kami here.
Yes.
Um, Yeah. This is like our lounge area, like where we have our patients sit down for their IV treatments. This is our view. We're at the penthouse, so we have a good view.
Nice, relaxing.
Um, yeah, and then maybe I'll show you the. No, we have 4 beds for acupuncture. Yan. So those are cleaned every patient. Yeah. And then there's a dulo is our colon cleanse rooms.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Ida says, I love how this focuses on customized solutions and not just generic prescriptions for the same concern. We will
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
seeing you soon. So, yes,
You
please
hit the
do.
nail on the head.
We
Yep.
will love to see you here. And yeah, so that's kind of it for our first episode of this.
Wellness.
We would love to see you guys again. I'll see you guys on Sunday, next Sunday. Different doctor, different topic, same relaxed, chill vibe. We will see you then. In the meantime, bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you. Have a good Sunday. Bye, Kathy. Thank you.
Bye.